Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to continue on with this. I got some parts in for this Cricut excavator. It's a Toho excavator. I got a few things I got to do to it in order to get this thing where I want to use it. The first thing I got to do is I have some other videos of this, but anyway, here's the pin. I took it out on this side. I'll show it to you soon. It's on my lathe. What I did was I took it out. I don't know if you've seen the other videos, but it was actually it was really oblong. I guess from all the using it without replacing it, it just made it worse and worse. Now inside here looks pretty good, and inside here looks pretty good. It looks like there's a bushing and everything else. So all that looks pretty good. It looks like the only thing that was really damaged was the pin itself, and I'll show you the pin in a second. So it looks like I also need to put some, I'll have to make some washers and put some cotter pins in, because there's nothing here and there's nothing on this one, and those two are supposed to be like this also. As you can see, there is a hole in this thing right here for the cotter pin, but there's no washer on it, and you can see like there's a little bit of a haze of where a washer used to be. Anyway, I got this thing extremely cheap. It was in my price range, and like I said, under $1,000. It was 800 bucks. I can't beat it. So anyway, what I have here is I have a 304 stainless tube that I bought, and what my planning is I'm going to turn this down a hair, because I measured like 28 millimeter. That's what this thing is. It's a little oversized. Like, it would probably work if I jam it, but I don't want to. Like I said, you can see it's got to be turned down just maybe, I don't know, 50 thousandths maybe, not much. Let me take you in the other room. So there's a few things I want to do. Like I said, that needs to be done. There's a seal that needs to be done here. Some other issues, but let me take you to my lathe and show you what I have over there. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, that should be making noise there. I apologize, my machine's a little loud with the gears. Take a little deeper of a cut. that's how bad it's off. Let's see what we got here. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to actually, the more I keep looking this, I'm going to have to weld this up. There's no way that I'm going to be able to turn it. If I turn it down that deep, I think that's a lot lower than, yeah, I'm going to have to weld this up. Let me see. Let me see. Let me take a measurement for the outside because, yeah, I got to figure out about getting this guy on there. And then what I figure I'll do is I'm going to probably definitely have to weld it. I can see that now. Because that should go on there. That's exactly the fit I'm looking for. And yeah, I can already see that I don't know what I was thinking. So, all right. So I guess that what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to, I guess, put some welds here, around here, and I guess around here. How far? Oh, yeah. I guess I'll have to do it around here too. Hmm. Oh, well, it looks terrible, but it's actually not too bad. It's pretty smooth. I may try another cutter though. Let me see something. Let me put that to 0 again. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, because that's kind of the fit I'm looking for. Something like that. And as you can see, Oh, sorry, you're not even looking. That's pretty much the fit I'm looking for. And unfortunately, yeah, that's not going to work. All right. All right. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm probably going to mark. I'm never going to get it closed, but I guess I'll mark it. Or should I just leave it on here and weld it on here? Decisions, decisions, decisions. Yeah, it's like so tight. That's the way I really want it. Maybe a little too tight. All right. Let's do this. Let's get a... Let me see if I can bring my welder in here. All right, see if I can squeeze my welder in here and try to do... Like I said, I'm going to have to do all this. Everything here. All right, let me see if I can grab my welder and I will bring you back. All right, so here we are. We're at my South Bend Heavy 10. So what I did was I put it, obviously, what I originally did was everything was kind of corroded. So I didn't get a chance to do this on camera, but I did turn this part down. I got it as the best I could, and I turned this part down because it was all like dirty and rusty and everything else. So I figured I'd give myself a good point to start anyway, like a good reference point. So if you look over here, I have a indicator on it, and as you can see, it's not perfect, but it's got like one little spot where it moves a little bit. So, and if I run it down, as you can see right there, it's just like one little spot. It's maybe like 5 thousandths off. If I run this thing all the way down, it's like the same thing. Let me see if I can get you over the, let me see if I can turn this light off real quick. I think I'm getting it glare. I don't know if that's any better. Can you read that any better? Not really. And it's just, I don't have good equipment. I apologize. I'm on disability. I don't have a lot of money, so I'm trying to do what I can. But as you can see, even here, oh wait, let me move this back a little bit. As you can see here, it's pretty good. It only moves a little bit here, and there might be my hand moving too, but it's probably about the best I can get it. So what I plan to do is, if you look kind of close, I don't know if it's hard to see, but you can see that's from wear. Okay. Same thing on here. As you can see, the whole pin is smooth except for here in the corners. There's wear in it. It's really bad. So again, like I said, this wasn't taken care of. It doesn't look like it was greased that much, or I guess, you know what, he used it as he had to use it, and now it's my turn to maybe fix it up a little. Anyway, so my thought process is I'm going to turn this down to get I guess a pressure fit on this, and then that'll make my pin now 28 millimeter back to normal again after I turn all this down. And then I can put it back in, and I'll hook up, obviously I'll put a washer on here, and then I'll do this. Now unfortunately I'm going to have to turn this down because it's a little too big on the end to even get in. So I can't even, I'm going to turn it down anyway. So I'm going to start turning some of this down, enough for this to be, like I said, I don't want it, I guess I want it to be like a nice fit, I guess a nice tight fit, not, I don't want to press it in. I guess basically just so it's just in there with some nice Loctite, everything else. It's not going to go anywhere. The pin's not going to move anywhere. It's going to be, and all I'm just trying to do is save this a little bit because they don't make parts for this machine. And I guess I could go and remake the pin, but to me, this is the cheapest way I can think of. It's like 10 bucks and I'm done. But again, I'm sure there'll be people telling me I'm doing it wrong. I'm not a professional. I'm just trying to get by. So, and my easiest way I could think of, I was trying to call place everything else. I can't find any pins or none. So the easiest thing I could do was just think of turning it down and make my own. So, I figured my other option too, I know, was welding it. I could weld it around and turn it down even more. And I started thinking about that too, but I guess that would probably be the better way. But I think I'm just going to be chasing my own tail. You know, I'm not a, I can weld everything else, but I'm not a professional. So this is like the easiest way I can think of to do it. So let me get some of this stuff turned down. Let me see if I can find the tripod. I don't know how much is you really going to see, but we'll see if we can turn this down, get this on here. I do have all my measurements and my DRO. I go up to the right to it. It should be zeroed out basically, almost. Zero, and I should be right there touching it, making a mark. So I think it's like 20, 27 millimeter or something, or 27.14 millimeters. I'm not even sure. Like I said, my first step right here is just turn this down until I can get that bar on there, and then I'll take the next step. Because I'm going to have to also shorten this bar too. It's too long. So it ought to be shortened about, somewhere around there or so. Or, I'll probably just maybe just, turn it off at the end and then just, actually what I did was I did make a mark on the bar here. If you can see that line, that's directly in line with the hole. So meaning that if I, turn this down and I put the pipe up gets here and just set my stop and everything to cut this off, I'm going to still need to drill that hole again. Probably the same thing with this one too. So, and basically, so those lines will show that they're directly in the center, top and bottom. Now this one doesn't go through all the way. Or, you know what, does it? I don't think it does go through all the way. I think it stops in the center. Because this is just for the grease and stuff like that. Yeah, this stops. It's like a dead stop on that side, and then also a dead stop on this side. So basically all I would just do is just cut the same hole. Just drill the hole, cut it. I'll know this. In fact, what I should do is probably measure that distance. That would be the smart thing to do, right? Because I measured the line, but I didn't measure this distance. So that's what I'll do next. I'll put a couple pins in here or something. I'll measure this, and this way I can get it pretty close. So stay tuned. Let me find a tripod. Let me see what I can do here. All right, well, there's the pin. Boy, that was a lot more work than I thought. I actually thought I filmed the putting it in, and I realized that I lost the footage or I didn't hit record. Boy, I had so many problems. I had a problem with my lathe. My belt snapped halfway through it, and then I had to finish the rest with a file and whatever. But anyway, it's done now. I have to go around. The other problem I had with it was I spent about a good hour. It was just clogged solid with it's just like old rust. I don't know, just nothing. So obviously I changed the Zerk fitting because it just wasn't working. And so now I got grease coming out because there was nothing going on before. Now I don't know. I mean, I guess there's supposed to be a gap there. I'm not even sure. I'm just going by what was there before. There's not there, but I guess once I got to make a washer and put it on the other side. Let me see if I can show you that. I think I'm going to make a few washers, and again, I still got some other things to do with this thing. Around here, yeah. See how they have these washers here? Well, this was missing, so and don't worry about this part. This is oversized. There's nothing I can do about that. The inside bushing is bronze. And I guess that's just the way they did them. I mean, the bottom one's a lot tighter fit, but the problem is I couldn't get it through, and then, this part would have never went through. I think it was close to 26 millimeter, actually 26.5 millimeter. I think the original ones are 28 millimeter, but inside the bushing was only about 26 millimeters. So I did what I could. I compromised halfway to get it through. I got to do, especially on this one, I got to do the same thing. I'm going to put a washer and a pin, just like these were. I don't know why they weren't in there, but I'm sure once I do that, the bucket will be a lot better. I'm just going to go around, get some of this, scrape off some of this old rusty paint, a few other things I got to do because we're getting upon, not yet, but I'm getting a hip surgery next month, and I want to try to make sure I get this thing cleaned up and everything ready before the winter comes, so I can kind of pack it up, and hopefully next year, it's like all these pieces. See all this? I started digging everything out. I don't know when the last time this thing was ever greased. So I'm just going around greasing everything. If I have to pull out the fittings, I'm pulling out the fittings, cleaning them. Like a lot of these I started cleaning out. It's some of these up here I started cleaning out, because again, this guy, I don't know when the last time this thing was greased. I think it was probably sitting for a while. So, but just little things here and there. I gotta, like I said, paint it a little bit. And other than that, oh, I did get some parts. I got a new piece for the back. This is the other wheel on there, just temporarily again. Everything still is temporary because I don't even have, this thing's still sitting on the ground. I haven't had a chance to do anything yet with it. So, but anyway, like I said, that was a fiasco. I did not realize how long that was going to take just to make that pin. And to be honest with you, I was actually struggling a lot of times. I wasn't recording some of it. And I think I worked on it probably, I'm not a machinist. I think I worked on this thing maybe for about 3 days straight. Maybe about, what, 4 or 5 hours a day. Yeah, I got messy. I just got to do some cleaning up around here. It's getting hard to move around here. But I think it was about 3 or 4 days it took me to do all this. But like I said, that one's good now. I got to go around, just clean up some of the other bushings. Now this cylinder is obviously leaking. I don't know if that's something I'm going to address before I use it. You know, I probably should take it apart and see if I can get another, get a seals kit for it. This way I won't have any issues with it after I put, drain the hydraulic system and everything else. And yeah, like I said, here was another Zerk fitting I kind of fixed and cleaned up. I still got to go over and make sure that they're all good, but so yeah, if they're going over the machine a little bit, I realize that these ones that are just welded flat plate, the Zerk fittings up here. If it doesn't have anything up here, then the Zerk fitting was here. Like I said, this thing's built pretty good. I don't know how the Harbor Freight one's built, but this thing is pretty solid. It's really, really solid. Something else just fell. A little windy around here. But yeah, as you can see, it's basically just another Harbor Freight model. I imagine that's to bring that down there. So there's another hole down there, or one of these, I guess, moves. I guess if you got to get a different distance or something. But other than that, hey, for the price I paid for this thing, I can't beat it. And so. Oh, anyway, stay tuned. I think I'm going to end this video here. Like I said, that was a little bit of work. Even though to you it's going to seem like it was nothing, for me it was a couple of days. I broke a lathe belt. I'm waiting for a new belt. That's why I can't make the washers yet. So as soon as my lathe belt comes in, I'll make some washers, do a video of that, get around. I did get some, let me see where I found. Let me see if I can find it real quick to show you that. I did purchase a few things for this thing. Let me see what I got here. This was actually, I think I just got it. Well, one of these might be a hitch ball. Let me see which one. Oh yeah, I got a new, it's crazy. The filters were it was easier just to buy the whole kit, just to replace everything. I don't know if I'm going to replace everything, but I got a new filter kit. So this way I know when, change that around. Just some other little parts that were broken, the trailer coupler, minor little things. Other than that, I'm going to be ready to fire this thing up pretty soon and get it moving. So stay tuned. Anyway, thanks for watching this boring video. Like, subscribe, and like I said, any questions, any comments, anything you think will help me out, let me know. I know I'm going to have to go around and probably change these hoses. I know it's just the outside covering, but I know it's very dangerous, a lot of pressure and stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Stay safe and well.